I've created dozens of Minecraft servers with my buddies, and they all ended the same way. Every time it was the same, we'd say this server is the one. And after 2 weeks, it was over. The server was empty. But the good news in all this is that I found the antidote. If you clicked this video, you want to create a server with friends. A server that avoids the 2-week curse and keeps you coming back after months. That's why today I'm going to reveal 10 secrets to turn your Minecraft server into an eternal world. But the first thing we wonder is whether we should use a cool seed we found on YouTube or go for something totally random. Obviously, it's very tempting to pick a perfect spot for our spawn. A beautiful lake, villages, and all the biomes you need nearby. And if you want to go with this option, I invite you to check out this video where I present 15 absolutely incredible seeds. But here's the problem. What makes a Minecraft world magical is precisely its uniqueness. Do you know how many different Minecraft worlds exist? 2 to the power of 64, which is about 18 quintillion. So when you start a new world, you're the only human being to set foot there. If you already know your map, you take away a huge part of the discovery. That amazing feeling when you find a beautiful place or some weird terrain generation. Even after 15 years of starting the game the same way, this is often players' favorite moment. Everything is still new and yet to be done, so it's better not to rush things and generate the totally random seed that fate has chosen for you. There you are, facing your first log, and that's when it all begins. But it's also right here that you need to be the most careful. There are countless videos on YouTube encouraging the perfect survival start. But what exactly is a perfect start? Trying to find a village as quickly as possible? Crafting your iron gear? Going to the nether? Gathering everything you need to find the stronghold and defeat the dragon? All of that is possible in just 2 hours of gameplay, or even just 1 if you're used to it. But your server isn't a speedrun tournament. Let your players have time to breathe, and don't force them to rush to keep up with you. Maybe for you, it's a way to quickly move on to a new stage that you like more. Some prefer to spend the first hours exploring freely, building an unstable base, aimlessly mining, dying in funny ways, and restarting. And that's perfectly fine. A perfect start, in reality, doesn't exist. Trying to impose a pace on a survival server means risking losing some of your players along the way. Those who like to take their time will feel useless, behind, or even completely left out of the server. Instead, encourage discovery, helping each other, and long-term projects. The nether, the stronghold, and the dragon are just elements of the game like any others. However, the fun can disappear very quickly if everything turns into a race. For that, the solution is to take your time with the simple things. Challenge yourself to get 10 apples before leaving your first forest, or build an ugly dirt bridge between those mountains. You'll laugh when you see it again in a few months. Most often, I see players spreading out on servers. You didn't create a server for everyone to play solo like in single player, right? What's the point of playing multiplayer if you have to fly for 15 minutes with an elytra just to reach your friend's base? Living together is essential for the longevity of your server. And when I say together, I don't mean one player living on this side of the mountain, another on the other side, and another a bit farther away in the plains. No, not at all. Your houses should be part of the same group, in the same town. The best thing is to actually have just one shared base at the beginning. But don't feel like you have to follow the same path that most players take. There are more than 65 different biomes in the game, and yet everyone settles in a plain. There are also more than 1,000 different blocks around you, yet most houses look like this. Look at these two players. They built a mushroom house in an old-growth pine biome. How's their survival here? They'll probably end up moving somewhere else when they feel like it. There are no rules or starter tutorials to copy and paste. What's great about making a server is that you can install absolutely anything you want on it. So yes, there are mods and mod packs, but if you want to keep vanilla gameplay, the simplest solution is data packs. Small feature additions that can spice up your game without changing its balance. Players connecting to your server will automatically get the new features without needing to install anything. That's the benefit of these small files. Data packs can be very simple, like this tool rack and its wall-mounted version that let you display your weapons and tools. But some go much further, like this one that brings a real breath of fresh air to Amethyst. Thanks to it, you can craft 5 new weapons and explore 3 brand new, never-before-seen structures. Often, it's data packs that make us realize all the little ideas that deserve to be officially added to Minecraft. By the way, a full video on the best data packs is coming very soon to the channel, so make sure to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss anything. A tip that works for any game, and even more so for Minecraft, is to try to get familiar with elements of the game that you're not used to using very often. Okay, you know how to lower villager prices to get diamond armor, but do you know how to use a comparator? Actually, it's not as complicated as you might think. and it can open up a lot of new ideas for you. We all have our habits. We optimize and repeat what we know. And over time, the game becomes almost mechanical. Efficient, yes, but repetitive. And not very surprising. Make potions you don't usually make. Try some slightly absurd challenges, like capturing a warden on the surface. Or take the time to really understand how horse stat optimization actually works. Stepping out of your comfort zone brings excitement back to your adventure. The best way to get your motivation back to play on your server isn't by starting a new map, but simply by changing the way you play. Previously, players had to build things themselves since there were no other options. The few available video tutorials also demanded significant time and patience. Today, the situation is very different. With mods like Litematica, you can instantly create a hologram of an online build and easily reproduce it with a single click. As a result, you often find the same builds on many servers. You've probably already come across that famous nether portal shaped like a sword. The issue with this tool is you might lose the satisfaction of creating something yourself. So yes, you're still the one farming resources one by one and placing each block. But the idea and the final result don't really come from your own mind. That said, some players use them intelligently. They imagine and build in a creative world, then convert them into holograms, and then reproduce them in survival. It's a great trick to avoid testing things directly in your world, even though there's also a certain charm in destroying everything and starting over. My advice, even if you don't particularly like building, is to start small. You don't need to build things with a specific purpose. Let your surroundings and passions inspire you, and try to recreate them in Minecraft. It's often by doing simple things that you have the most fun. Your server, your rules. If certain elements harm your player's experience in the long run or disrupt your vision of the gameplay, you can simply disable them. That's the case, for example, with phantoms, which can become very intrusive for those who forget to sleep. Other servers go even further by outright banning elytra, an item that makes getting around much easier and sometimes makes other transportation systems obsolete. It can be a good idea to remove them to encourage creative ways to get around your world. If you want to make a more challenging server, then disable natural regeneration. That will force players to make healing potions, golden apples, and generally be more careful about their surroundings. I also encourage you to set up a real economy on your server. Set a currency that isn't an item that can be easily farmed, like deep slate emerald ore, for example, and use it to trade with other players. We often forget one essential thing in Minecraft. You have to have fun. By always wanting to progress as quickly as possible, we sometimes end up turning the game into a checklist of objectives. Yet, Minecraft offers unmatched freedom. Don't always try to optimize your time or do something useful. Do you want to build a giant statue in the middle of nowhere? Go for it. A secret room filled with chickens, a museum of the ugliest blocks, a court to judge your friends. As long as you're having fun, it's already served its purpose. The so-called useless projects are the ones we remember the most. It's not your iron farm that produces 9,500 ingots per hour that everyone will still be talking about in 6 months, but rather that absurd idea you had at 2 a.m. that brought all the players on your server together. Allow yourself to waste time, to try things that don't work, to build without a precise plan. Sometimes, just doing something that serves no purpose is exactly what reignites your desire to play. For some time now, Minecraft has been getting updates super regularly, and even if it's not much each time, it's fun to test out the new features with your friends. It motivates players to reconnect to the server. Recently, we've had several new items like the spear, or even the golden dandelion, which lets you keep animals in their baby form. It's very easy to fall into the trap of overproduction. We always see ultra-efficient farms on YouTube that can generate thousands of items per hour, and we think we absolutely need the same ones. But ask yourself this simple question: do you really need it? Building a gigantic farm just because it's optimized can quickly take away some of the fun. You'll end up with double chests filled to the brim without ever using even 1/100th of the resources. In the end, your server might turn into a huge production area where any item is available effortlessly and in unlimited quantities. I know that for some, it's a dream, but believe me, it will only ruin your desire to play. Don't always try to make bigger, faster, more efficient farms. Instead, try to do something that fits with your projects. Often, a small farm that's well integrated into your base will be much more valuable than a gigantic machine copied without any real need behind it. If even with these 10 tips you still can't keep your server going over time, then it's okay. Nothing stops you from making a server with a short-term concept, for the holidays for example. Survive on an island in a super flat world, or even try out the mod packs your favorite streamers use. You also have the option to play on old versions of Minecraft if you're feeling nostalgic. Or even create a cross-platform server so your friends on the Bedrock version can join. Now that you know all this, go back to your Eternal server before asking yourself if you really need to make a new one.